Hello guys, greetings from Placement Ski. I'm Pradyumna, one of the co-founders of Placement Ski. I welcome you all for the third lecture series on the previous year questions asked in Wipro NLTH. Okay, I'll be covering the exact questions asked in the previous year. In the first two parts, I've covered questions 1 to 13. Now I'll be resuming from question 14. Please do watch the videos if you have not watched them yet, and please do subscribe to our channel for more updates. How many 5-digit odd numbers can be formed using the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Okay, so it is without repetition of digits that is missing in this question. Let me write it for you. So it's given that the repetition of digits is not allowed. How many 5-digit odd numbers can be formed? Since it's a 5-digit number, I'm indicating 5 blanks. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay. What are the digits that we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are supposed to find odd numbers. So for a number to be odd, the unit digit has to be odd, right? Therefore, this blank should be filled with an odd number. So what are the odd numbers that we have? We have a 1, we have a 3 and we have a 5. So these are the odd digits that we have, and we have a 2 and a 4. So these are the even digits that we have. So this blank should be filled in how many ways? It can be filled in how many ways? It can be filled in 3 ways. Either 1 or 3 or 5 can come. Therefore, this blank can be filled in 3 ways. Therefore, out of 1, 3 and 5, 1 is already filled in this position. Let's say 5 is filled. Okay. So now this blank, the first blank, can be filled in how many ways? Either 1 or 3 or 2 or 4. So this can be filled in 4 ways. Similarly, out of these 4, let's say one digit is already filled. Okay. Therefore, this blank can be filled in how many ways? It can only be filled in 3 ways. Okay, why? Because it's clearly given that the repetition of digits is not allowed. Therefore, this can be filled in only 3 ways. Okay. Similarly, out of the 2 remaining numbers, any one of them can come here. Therefore, this can be filled in 2 ways. Similarly, this can be filled in 1 way because repetition of digits is not allowed. Therefore, the total number of 5-digit odd numbers that are possible without repetition of digits is 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 into 3. How much is it? 4 3s 12, 2s 24, 3s 72 ways. So 72 such numbers are possible without repetition. So what did we do? Very simple. We have filled this with an odd number, which can be filled in 3 ways. Now out of 5 digits, 1 is filled here. Therefore, the remaining 4 blanks can be filled in 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 ways because repetition is not allowed. Okay. Now for your understanding, let me also explain this question if repetition of digits is allowed. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So this can be filled in how many ways now? Same, 3 ways. Either 1 or 3 or 5 can come in this position. So 3 ways. Now the first blank can be filled in how many ways? Is it 4 ways or 5 ways? It is 5 ways. Because whatever digit comes here, the same digit can repeat here. Because repetition of digits is allowed. So this can be filled in 5 ways. So this can also be filled in 5 ways. Because irrespective of what comes in the first and the last position, this can be filled in 5 ways. Similarly, this in 5 ways, this in 5 ways. Therefore, the answer would be 5 into 5 into 5 into 5 into 3, which is 5 power 4, that is 625 into 3, that is 1875 ways. Okay. Therefore, if repetition is allowed, the answer is 1875. If repetition is not allowed, the answer is 72 ways. Is this question clear? Let's move on to the next one. What are the values of x and y in, okay, let me write down the number here, 7, 2, x, 2, 3 and y. This has to be divisible by 88. So how shall we split 88? Can we split 88 as, say, 4 and 22? Can we split it as so and say that if a number is divisible by 4 and 22, can we say that the number is divisible by 88? No. Please listen to the question carefully. We should not split 88 as 4 and 22 because 4 and 22 are not co-prime. So when you are finding the divisibility rule for composite numbers, the numbers should be split as product of two co-prime numbers. Therefore, 88 should be split as 8 into 11. because 8 and 11 are co-prime. Okay, let me take one more example. If you are to ascertain the divisibility rule for 36, we should not split 36 as 6 into 6 or 3 into 12, right? Because they are not co-prime. We should split 36 as 4 into 9 because 4 and 9 are co-prime. Okay, so in this case, let me come back to the point. So the number should be divisible by 8 as well as 11. Now finding divisibility rule for 8 is very easy because the last 3 digits should be divisible by 8, right? The last 3 digits should be divisible by 8. So 2, 3, y. So let's see. 8 to 16. So we have 23 minus 16, that is 7. 7 dash. So what is the number? What should be the number to be divisible by 8? This has to be a 2, right? Because 8, 9, 72. Therefore, the value of y has to be 2. Let me repeat. What we are doing is the last 3 digits should be divisible by 8. 2, 3, y should be divisible by 8. So I'm just dividing 8 to 16. So we have a 7y. So 72 is exactly divisible by 8. Therefore, y value should be 2. So what is the number now? It is 7, 2, x, 2, 3 and 2 because y value is 2. Okay, now half the problem is solved. Now we are supposed to find the value of x from the divisibility rule for 11. Okay, the number should be divisible by 11 also, right? Okay, let's apply that. First, let's take the sum of numbers in the odd position, 7 plus 2 plus 3. So this is the sum of numbers in odd positions. Sorry, 7 plus x, right? This is x. 7 plus x plus 3. Let's take the sum of digits in even positions, 2, 2 and 2. So 2 plus 2 plus 2. Let's find the difference of them. Okay, the first step is finding sum of digits in odd positions. Second step is finding sum of digits in even positions, and this difference has to be either 0 or a multiple of 11. Okay, so let's simplify it. 7 plus x plus 3, it is 10 plus x minus 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. This should either be 0 or a multiple of 11. Now it is x plus 4, right? Because 10 minus 6 is 4. This should either be 0 or a multiple of 11. Now, can x plus 4, can it be 0? No. Why? Because for it to be 0, x value becomes minus 4, which is not possible because all these are positive integers. Okay, so x plus 4, let's take the first multiple of 11, that is 11. So what should be the value of x? It has to be 7. X plus 4 is 11, so x has to be 7. Can x plus 4 be 22? The next multiple of 11, can it be 22? No. Because for it to be 22, x value should become what? 18, which is not possible. All these are single digit integers, right? Therefore, x value should be 7. Okay, so for answering this question, what is it? X is 7 and y is 2. Let's move on to the next question. Jagadish can build a wall in 10 days. Okay, Jagadish can build a wall in 10 days. Then Narendra can build the same wall in 12 days. Okay, and Sumit also manages to build the wall in 15 days. Which two of them should be employed to finish the job in 6 days? Okay, so we are given that only two are employed. Okay, and then the work should get over in 6 days. Okay, so these are the two things that are given. Now, I think I've covered this earlier. When A does a piece of work in, let's say, A days, and B does the same piece of work in B days working alone, when they are working together, A and B can finish the work in how many days? A into B by A plus B days. Okay, we can apply this particular formula for solving this question very fast. I'm not recommending to use the formula approach for every question, but for this particular question this is easier. Okay, now only two are employed. We are not sure which two are employed, so let's take combinations. In the first case, let's say Jagadish and Narendra are employed. Okay, in the second case, let's assume J and S are employed. The third case, let's assume N and S are employed, right? Let's check the three cases. Let's see which two of them can finish the work in 6 days. J and N. So J can do the work in 10 days and N can do in 12 days. Therefore, together they can do in 10 into 12 by 10 plus 12, which is 22. So what is it? It is 120 by 22. Now is 120 by 22 is 6? No. Why? For it to be 6, in denominator we should have had 20, right? Because if it were 20, 21, 26. But in denominator we have a 22. Therefore this value will be less than 6. Therefore J and N can't be employed. Okay, because they should finish the job in exactly 6 days, but here they are finishing in less than 6 days. Therefore this is not the answer. Let's check for J and S. J can do in 10 days and S can do in 15 days. So 10 into 15 by 10 plus 15, which is 25. 150 by 25. 150 by 25 is 6 days. Yes. Therefore J and S should be employed. Let's check for N and S too. Okay, let's see whether we get 6 or not. N and S. So what is it? It is 12 into 15 by 12 plus 15, that is 27. What is it? 3 9s 27, 3 4s 12, 3 3s 9, 3 5s 15. So what do we get? We get 20 by 3. What is 20 by 3? It is 6.67. So is this 6? No. Therefore N and S also can't be employed. So who should be employed? J and S should be employed. That is Jagadish and Sumit should be employed to finish the job in 6 days. Exactly 6 days. Let's move on to the next question. How many liters of 90% concentrated acid, let me write it here, 90% concentrated acid be mixed with 75% concentrated acid to get a 30-liter solution of 78% concentrated acid? Please check it. We'll always write the resultant in the middle. Okay, we solve it using the method of alligation. Now 90% is mixed with 75% and the resultant is 78%. What do we do? The next thing is cross subtraction. Okay, we'll subtract the smaller number from the bigger number. 90 minus 78 is 12. 78 minus 75 is 3. Therefore, these two mixtures should be mixed in the ratio of 3 is to 12. 3 is to 12, that is 1 is to 4. We are given that the resultant mixture is what? 30 liters, right? So this is given as 30 liters. What are we supposed to find? We are supposed to find how many liters of 90% concentrated acid. So we are supposed to find this, right? So which is one part. So one part upon totally how many parts are there? 5 parts are there. 4 plus 1 into 30. 5 ones 5 6. So what is the answer? 6 liters should be mixed. Is this clear? We have got the ratio as 1 is to 4. What is 1 is to 4? This is the number of units of 90% concentrated acid and this is 75% concentrated acid. We are supposed to find the number of liters of 90% concentrated acid. So one part out of total 1 plus 4, that is 5 parts into 30. So we get 6 liters is the answer. It's a very, very simple question. The answer is 6 liters. Let's move to the next question. A man bought 400 meters of cloth for rupees 40,000. Okay. 400 meters for rupees he bought. So this is the cost price, right? Cost price 400 meters for rupees 40,000. So how much does each meter cost? Each meter costed him 40,000 by 400. So how much is it? It is 100 rupees per meter. Okay. So it has costed him 100 rupees per meter. Okay. Now, but he sold at the rate of rupees 200 for one and a half meter. So he sold it, that is selling price, rupees 200 for 1.5 meters. So if it is 200 for 1.5 meters, I'm just writing here, what is it for 1 meter? For 1 meter, it has costed him 200 divided by 1.5 per meter. Okay, which is, let's multiply and divide by 2 into 2 into 2. So how much is it? It is 400 by 3 per meter. See here, it has costed him, I'm writing here, it has costed him 100 rupees per meter. Now he has sold it for rupees 400 by 3 per meter. Okay, now let's find the profit or loss percentage. So 100 can be written as 300 by 3, right? So I'm writing this by 300 by 3. So the cost price is 300 by 3 per meter. The selling price is 400 by 3 per meter. Therefore, there is a profit here. So how do we get it? It is selling price minus cost price by cost price into 100, right? So what is selling price? It is 400 by 3. What is cost price? It is 300 by 3. What is cost price? 300 by 3 into 100. So what do we get? 100 by 300 into 100, that is 33.33% profit. Therefore, by selling so, he effectively gets a profit of 33.33%. It's very simple. We are just converting into per meter value so that we can calculate the profit or loss percentage. A train Rajdhani starts from Suratkal at 5 a.m. Okay, so okay, it starts from Suratkal at 5 a.m. Okay, that is Rajdhani with a speed of 15 kilometers per hour. Okay, this is 15 kilometers per hour. Another train Shatabdi starts from the same place in the same direction at 7 a.m. Okay, Shatabdi starts at 7 a.m. from the same place at 20 kilometers per hour. Now, when do they meet? Okay, so see here, the first train is starting at 5 a.m. whereas the second train is starting at 7 a.m. Therefore, by 7 a.m., where will the first train be? Where will the Rajdhani Express be? We know that in each hour it covers 15 kilometers. Therefore, in 2 hours between 5 to 7, Rajdhani Express should have covered how many kilometers? It should have covered 30 kilometers. 30 kilometers, isn't it? Because in each hour it covers 15 kilometers. So between 5 and 7 in 2 hours it would have covered 15 into 2, that is 30 kilometers. Okay. Now the Shatabdi Express also starts in the same direction. We know Rajdhani is continuing to travel at 15 kilometers per hour, whereas Shatabdi is traveling at 20 kilometers per hour. Okay. Now we know this, right? It's a very standard format, right? So two objects are traveling in the same direction. Therefore, when do they meet? The distance between them. What is the distance between them? It is 30 kilometers divided by the relative speed. What is relative speed? When two objects are traveling in the same direction, the relative speed is a subtraction of the speeds. So what is 20 minus 15? It is 5 kilometers per hour. Is that clear? So the distance between them 30 kilometers by the relative speed is 5. So they'll meet after 6 hours. 6 hours after when? 6 hours after 7. 6 hours after 7, that is they'll meet at 1 p.m. Is this clear? Okay, let me reiterate the formula here. What is the formula for two trains to meet? The initial distance between them, initially at 7 a.m. the distance between them was 30 kilometers divided by the relative speed. When two bodies are traveling in same direction, the relative speed is the subtraction of the speeds. When two bodies are traveling in opposite direction, the relative speed will be the addition of the speeds. So in this case, since they are traveling the same direction, the relative speed is 20 minus 15, that is 5. Therefore, the answer is 30 minus 5, that is, 30 by 5, that is 6 hours. 6 hours after 7 a.m., that is, they'll meet at 1 p.m. Let me solve the last question in this particular lecture. If from a deck of 52 cards, okay, so we know that there are 52 cards in all, 4 cards are to be selected. Okay, 4 cards are to be selected such that one card should be spade, it seems. One card should be spade. Okay, and then one should be heart, one should be heart. What else? And for the remaining 2 cards, nothing is given, no information is given, no information. Okay. Totally, we know how many cards are there. We know that totally there are 52 cards, right? 52 cards. So what are the different types of cards? Basically, they are divided into 4 parts, right? What are those? We have spades, then we have hearts. What else? We have diamonds, we have clubs. So each of them we have 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, so that we get 52 in all. Okay, this is what we have on a very basic note. Okay. Now, in this question, we are supposed to pick at least one, exactly one spade card that is already given. One card should be spade. Therefore, out of 13 spades, he has to pick one. Therefore, it is 13 C1. Out of 13, he can pick any one. So that is 13 C1. And and another should be heart. Therefore, how many hearts are there? There are 13 hearts in all. He should pick one heart. Therefore, that heart can be picked in, chosen in 13 C1 ways. Out of 13, he has to pick one. And now, uh, it, now we are supposed to pick two more cards, but we are not given any information. Therefore, out of 50 remaining cards, because two are already chosen, right? So out of 50, he has to choose how many? He has to choose only two now. 50 C2, right? Combination. So we are picking any two out of 50. Therefore, it is 50 C2. Therefore, the answer is what? 13 C1 is 13 into 13 C1 is 13 into 50 C2. That should be your answer. You can simplify it. Okay. Let me repeat this. We are supposed to choose four cards. In that, one should be spade. Out of 13 spades, he has to choose one. Therefore, this can be chosen in 13 ways. Again, he has to choose one heart. So out of 13 hearts, he has to choose one. So that is 13 ways. And then for the remaining two, no information is given. Therefore, out of the remaining 50 cards, because out of 52, two are already chosen. So out of remaining 50 cards, we have to choose any two, which can be done in 50 C2 ways. Therefore, the answer is 13 into 13 into 50 C2 ways.